Hey, what's up, YouTube? Hi, welcome to Millennial Gaming Speak, episode 60. Yeah, what's up?
El numero, I don't know 60 in Spanish anymore. Okay. I'm good to dive into it.
Me too. In a second. Hold on. Shooting one more text to somebody. Alrighty, cool. Yeah, let's get going.
Okay.
Oh shoot, my wires are all wrapped up on me. Hey, we have a viewer. Hello. It's probably what, Abby?
Kevin.
It is Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Let me straighten out my camera real quick. Okay, cool. Alrighty, sweet. Let's get going here. We shall begin as long as Max is ready. You're good?
Thumbs up.
All right, let's get going here in 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome to episode number 60 of Millennial Gaming Speak. I am your host, Logan Moore. And with me this week, as always, is Max Roberts. Hey, Max.
Hello. That was really loud. That was really, really close to the microphone.
It didn't sound that loud to me, but
It looks loud on the waveform.
You watch your waveform as we record? Because I don't. I just minimize it, and
Oh no,
I don't even know
I
if
have
we're
it up.
recording. Maybe we aren't.
It's a mystery to you. No, I have my waveforms up to make sure I don't spike too much, like I just did when I said hello.
It's probably not the worst idea. Max, what's been up this week? Haven't really talked to you a whole bunch. Well, actually, I know what's been up. You've been playing Destiny. How's that going?
Destiny's very good. This is a very nostalgic expansion for the game. This isn't the overhaul Taken King was, where Taken King changed what Destiny was for the better and made Destiny a better game. Rise of Iron is the same exact formula essentially as Taken King, just with new things to do. And those new things to do are very reminiscent of these past 2 years with Destiny. And I feel like it's very special for people that have been around this long. I feel like if you're a new player coming in this game, it's going to not have as much of an impact on you, or be quite.
If you're one of those folks
is
buying
interesting
Destiny the collection or whatever they've got out now.
Yeah, it's I mean, you'll see in the advertising and stuff, the big thing they were pushing was Gjallarhorn is back, which
Axeman. They got an Axeman and his wolf children. Axeman and wolf children. That is the big thing they're pushing.
Axe is dope. But the Gjallarhorn is coming back, and that's the gun that when the exotic salesman sold it, it was trending on Twitter all day. It's a super big, cool rocket launcher that was very, very popular. And now it's back. They brought it for year 3, and there's this whole quest of building your own Gjallarhorn, and it's probably fun and cool if you haven't played Destiny before, but for someone that's been playing Destiny since the alpha, that was like a special mission. And the same thing, the very first gun you ever pick up is now an exotic. They've forged a whole quest for you to get this exotic version of the very first gun. Everyone picked up the very first gun in the tutorial level, and now it's this. Yeah, I heard that. Now it's this special exotic quest that has a very nice intimate moment there at the end with the ghost. And I think Rise of Iron is a nostalgic and slightly reflective piece of DLC for the game, as the vast majority of Bungie is working on Destiny 2.
Okay, we'll read your review this week on PlayStationInsider.com.
Yeah.
Shot out of a cannon, rank the DLCs. Go.
Of all Destiny.
Just off the top of your head, rank
just
the DLCs.
The expansions.
Yes.
Okay, I can't remember the Dark Below, which was Crota.
Dark Below, House of Wolves, Taken King,
Rise of Iron.
Why do I know this?
You know the names better than I do. Crota gets a 3. House of Wolves gets a 5. Taken King gets a.
I said rank them, not give me a rating between 1 and 10.
Oh,
rank
which
them.
ones are the best?
Which one's the best? Which one's the worst?
Oh, not having played the raid, I have to say Taken King's the best. Rise of Iron is second. House of Wolves is third, and Crota is 4. Now,
Dark Below's last.
yeah, Dark Below is definitely last. If I haven't done the raid yet, so that speaks a lot. And as far as like content and how good it is, Taken King is, I think, mechanically a better game just because it changed so much. But Rise of Iron I enjoy more just because it's more special. It's cool for us Guardians. But that's the initial thoughts and essentially a rough draft of the review in my head. I just have to type that out into words. I have to type them out.
That's basic. That's the worst part of writing reviews is every single thing you want to say, and then you're like, I just don't want to put it down on paper.
I could
now.
do diction. I could talk to my computer and have it write my paper for me.
That's true. You could do that.
Maybe I'm doing it right now.
I hope not. It's going to be a very, very disjointed review.
It's a very weird paper.
Very.
I've been playing that quite a bit.
We both played Batman this past week.
Hot dog.
I don't think we can really talk too much about it without getting. I mean, I think Telltale games are different because they all revolve around the story. You can't be like, oh, I like this new gameplay mechanic or something like that and expand on that. But overall, like I think you and I talked about this in a text conversation. Like, how do you feel about it so far? Do you like it? Did you like the second episode more than the first episode? Like,
I like narratively where it's going. I do. I think it's playing with some Batman lore in interesting, at least ways I haven't seen. I'm not sure if comic books have addressed any of this kind of material before.
Yeah.
But for me, as a person who solely consumes the movies and the games, this is all very interesting to me as far as the story goes. Gameplay wise, game's trash. Game's hot,
freaking awful,
hot garbage.
Yeah, and steaming. It's to the point where, like, I've said this to you, and I've said this for a while now. Like, I'm not accepting this from Telltale anymore. Like, if Bethesda, if Fallout 4 was the point where we reached with Bethesda, where we're like, now, this is not cool anymore to have this many bugs in your game, then Batman the Telltale series is the point I've reached with Telltale, where it's like, get your freaking engine in line. It's been now 5 years.
Just for clarity's sake, I am playing the game for work. I'm doing the guide for it for IGN. So I have to play it. And you were reviewing it for PlayStation Insider, which means you have to play it. If you weren't under an obligation to play this game, would you keep playing it?
Yeah, I would keep playing. I would keep playing it for sure. Yeah.
So then how's it unacceptable? Like, I don't,
because this is what game in the Telltale series where it's just totally we have seen no improvement on the engine.
But they already have your money though.
I know. I get that, but so you're saying to me, put your money where your mouth is and stop.
Kind of, yeah. Like, if it's unacceptable, don't give them the money for it. I'm saying
more from like a critic's standpoint, like, this is unacceptable to the point where we can't just brush it under the rug and say it has the technical issues, but that's a Telltale thing. We're used to that. It's reached the point where it's like we can't keep saying it's just like a Telltale thing.
Bethesda.
What we said with Bethesda, where it's like, oh, it's a Bethesda game. They've always got some wacky bugs, and it's like, no, like, there comes a point in time where as a developer, you need to make sure that this crap isn't happening. And this is the point I'm at with the Batman series, Telltale's Batman series. Like, it is totally unacceptable to me now that the same issues that have been prevalent since The Walking Dead are still present in 2016 in their newest series. Like, it's not like what, and I get the reasons why it probably happens is because they have to port it. They have to make sure it's ubiquitous across iOS and PS4 and PC and all this.
You got to leave that stuff behind, man.
You do. And I've said this for a long time. Like, isn't this game still on 360 and PS3 as well?
It is.
Like, abandon that stuff. Like, get rid of it. It's been 3 years since these new consoles have come out. Quit worrying about that old audience. If you're still making that much money on those old systems, like, then I can understand it. But there does need to come a point in time where you, as the developer, tells the consumers, okay, you're behind. You're dragging our product down. We're not going to let this happen to our product. It's your fault.
Call of Duty's done it. This year's, I believe, the first year where there's no pass generation version of Call of Duty. The last one was Blops 3, and that was only the multiplayer.
I can't think of any past versions of many multi-platform games that are on 360 and PS3 any longer. Really,
I think the
last ones that I can think of.
The last ones I could think, Assassin's Creed didn't do this.
No, they didn't.
Black Flag. Black Flag was on both.
Unity was where it cut.
But they made Rogue.
They made Rogue alongside it. And
Call of Duty Blops 3 was the last one for them.
Yeah, but it was a way different.
It was
game
a
lot of ways.
It was just the multiplayer.
It was just the multiplayer,
and it looked ugly.
Zombies. And the maps were different. They had to like cut in certain.
When was the last Madden game?
I am not sure. Last year's was for sure on 360 and PS3. I'm not sure. Madden may have actually been on this year's.
Okay. System. I'm just trying to think of the really
Madden
big
this year
ones.
may have been on last gen hardware. So yeah, I mean, okay. So back to Batman though, and like,
I think the story's good. What do you think about the story?
Yeah, I felt like probably 3/4 or so of the episode was kind of like, all right, let's see something happen here, because this is like getting kind of dry. Like, and the payoff is good. There is a pretty good climax in this episode that I was happy with. But it's really almost the Bruce Wayne, the Telltale series. Like I brought this up to you. There's one point in the episode where you get to choose if you want to approach a situation as Bruce or as Batman. And I chose Batman just because, oh shoot, I hadn't been Batman really this whole episode up until that point. So I wanted to go into a situation and
which I thought was very interesting, because I really enjoy the Bruce Wayne stuff.
I like that they give you that option, but at the same time, it was like if the first episode was about 50-50, I'd say this one was honestly like 75-25. Like you were Bruce for the vast majority of this episode.
There's a total of 6 chapters in the episode. You are Bruce for four of them. Yeah. And then obviously you have the one option to approach a situation whichever way you see fit as well. So then you can be Bruce even more if you would like to. That would be the 4th chapter.
So that's not necessarily a complaint, but it did reach the point where I was like, okay, I'd like to see some Batman action in this. And there is a good payoff at the end. Like I said, the end of the episode is good.
It also splits off very differently. It does. It can end in 2 completely different ways, which is interesting to me.
And this is when I brought this up to you and said, well, what happens if you do... There's a big decision at the end where obviously you have to choose one or the other. And I texted you. I said, what happens if you choose the opposite choice of the one I chose? And you said, and you told me how that ended.
I explained how it ended. And
you told me how that ended. And I said, well, and then they're going to find a way to merge it together in the next episode. Like something's going to happen. And
I don't think they will.
But here's
that's like
I know you said that's bad writing. But
it's like when TV fakes you out. Like, look at The Walking Dead last season. They faked you out for 6 episodes with Glenn's death. That lost all impact of Glenn dying.
You'll say it's bad writing, but maybe it's
garbage.
Bad writing.
It robbed. And what I think is it would be even more criminal in a Telltale game is it robs you of choice.
Because it's no different than like. It's no different than like Walking Dead season 1. Let's use that for example. Spoilers for Walking Dead season 1. It's been on like 5 years. Go play it. At the final episode of that, it's like, should I chop my arm off or not? I'm going to chop my arm off. In the end, doesn't matter at all.
In the end, it doesn't. But I would argue that Lee doesn't know that chopping his arm off won't save him. Like I just feel like, at least the way this particular episode ended, I thought it's too bit like the odds of having this scenario happen regardless is they'd have to stretch it out. I just feel like
the scenario that occurs is something that occurs in Batman lore and is something that we've expected since episode 1 to probably happen. So
but you can prevent that, which is why I think there's no kind of about it.
You can, but not forever, because no matter what, we know that
I think they will be 2 separate paths.
Well, here was my response to that.
As cryptic as we're speaking, which is
my response to that was that the choice that you do make, if that process does occur, then because of that process, we will not see the character affected by that choice probably much anymore throughout the rest of the game, I would have to guess. I don't think that character is going to play too much into the future of the game from this point. Either way. And I think that's the way they cop out from it, honestly.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because I think these first
so
two
far they've stuck to their month-to-month plan.
They have, and
meaning next episode comes out here in October at some point. One last thing I wanted to say about Telltale's Batman here before we kind of move on from that is Walking Dead Season 3 is out this November. The way Batman is performing right now has me terrified for the performance of Walking Dead.
Yep.
Walking Dead, like Batman, I can push aside. I mean, I love Batman. He's my favorite superhero. But I don't have an attachment to the Telltale Batman franchise like I have to Telltale's Walking Dead. And I'm very, very excited to play that game.
That's why I've said we need to not accept this anymore, because there are more important things coming down the line that
I do want to look into. I'll do that now while you segue. I'm going to see if they've announced if Walking Dead is supporting old gen.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think they probably are. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't. Actually, maybe they aren't, because they've well, I'm not sure. Not really sure about that one, because I know they've talked about your old data coming over, but they may just be talking about people who've upgraded consoles. I'm not sure. You can look that up if you want. The last thing I'll say about Batman, though, is I think the story's interesting. It really hasn't grabbed me yet and put its hooks into me, is what I told you. I think they're doing some interesting things with Batman lore that they really haven't, that I haven't seen before, kind of similar to what you said. But they are also falling into a lot of Batman tropes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because, and by tropes, I mean like certain characters are doing things that we would expect from them. And again, that's not a bad thing, because that's kind of their identity. But they're trying to be very different while also being very the same in a lot of regards. And again, that's not a negative thing, but you can see where they're trying to do different things with the story and the backstory, and also trying to make sure that they don't shy away from certain things that have always been a part of Batman. So it's good so far. I like it. Overall.
It's not my favorite Telltale series.
I
prefer actually, out of all of them I played, this is probably my least favorite Telltale game so far.
Did you play Wolf Among Us?
Yep, love Wolf Among Us.
I like that too.
Wolf Among Us is dope. Here, I did find out the answer. Their wording on the website is, The Walking Dead, the Telltale series, A New Frontier, will be premiering this November on consoles, PC, Mac, and mobile platforms. So at the very least, we know it's on iOS and Android, which is already holding you back.
Well,
consoles is vague enough to mean PS3 and 360. So they haven't said yet if this will be the launch of the new engine, which technically it could.
Batman would be, though.
No. They've said in interviews, I remember watching this very closely, Batman was a graphical improvement, which I can't deny. Batman is the best looking Telltale game.
Well, I would hope so. It's kind of the first.
Graphically, it is the best looking one.
It's the first one that's really, I think, been optimized for the new consoles, I think.
Yeah. So
there was Tales from Borderlands.
They did say this is not the new engine. Batman was just polished, which it's not polished. It just looks better. So Walking Dead, in theory, could be the new engine. Could be. I doubt it. I think, unfortunately, it'll probably be the same engine as Batman, which means...
That's what I'm expecting it to be, honestly.
Yeah, which means it's probably not going to run very well, which sucks. But I will play Walking Dead no matter what, because Abby and I play those games together. Our decisions are going to carry over from PS3, so we're going to play on the PS4, and we're going to hunker down and play together and make our choices. So it's going to be fun. It's going to suck if it doesn't perform well.
I don't know how I'm going to play that one. I'm thinking about it, and I may play them as they release. I may wait. I'm not sure. I'm reaching the point where if they can get them out in rapid succession, like they have with Batman, where it's like about 4 to 5 weeks between episodes every month, then I'm behind that and I can stay up with it. If it's like the old Walking Dead, though, where it's like, well, maybe once every month or 3 months, we don't really know, then I don't know what I'm going to be doing there.
Yeah.
It does get frustrating.
With Michonne, they did do it at one a month, and so far with
They
Batman,
have
they've
been
done
more
one a month.
consistent lately, kind of like
So
this
hopefully-
show.
So hopefully, Walking Dead is also one a month. Now, the thing with that is, though, Batman and Walking Dead are going to overlap.
That's fine.
Batman will be on episode 4 when Walking Dead is premiering. So the end of Batman and the beginning of Walking Dead will overlap. So we'll see if they can keep up this one a month thing.
They have different
two
teams.
games.
It's not just all one telltale running around everybody.
Game of Thrones and Tales from the Borderlands had 2 very different dev cycles, and both were not consistent.
Yeah, but they've made like a point of it to
Minecraft.
try to do better now. Yeah,
We'll see.
Minecraft is just kind of there.
Minecraft finally is on its last episode. They expanded that one day.
Maybe. I think this new episode is called like The End ? Or something like that. So maybe it's not the last episode.
I wonder if they're really making. They clearly must be making a lot of money with Minecraft one, right?
You would think.
Must
I
be
don't
popular
know.
with the kids.
Yeah, I sold a lot of copies of it when I worked at GameStop. So anything Minecraft is probably
That
selling
and
really
Walking
well.
Dead. I'm sorry. That and Game of Thrones were the 2 I didn't play.
Game of Thrones is fun. I like Game of Thrones. It was
Is it a free plat?
I don't know. I played it on Xbox.
Sniffles.
Game of Thrones was good. I liked it. It hooked me in quicker than Batman did. Like
We did play the first episode of Game of Thrones.
typically, there's like a big turn in the final episode of every Telltale series. Like or of the first episode, I feel like there's a huge moment in that first episode where it tries to sink you in so you can get this other you
buy the season pass.
You buy the season pass. Like with The Wolf Among Us, it was the head on the porch step. With The Walking Dead,
how the first episode ended?
That's how the first one ended. Yeah.
It's been so long.
The one with Batman, I was like, okay, like I don't really care. Like it was all right. Like it wasn't.
I
anything
thought
that grabbed me, though.
I did get a kick because your biggest complaint, and mine as well, and a lot of people's for the first episode was how much they talked about Bruce's dead parents.
Oh my gosh!
And
yes.
when I played the opening of this episode, and it starts with Bruce at the alley where they died. I was like,
it's like, hey, let's relive.
Logan
I know we
is gonna
talked about
get
it last episode.
Logan's gonna get a kick out of this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how many times I've seen Bruce's parents die at this point in my life.
I have to say, this one was the most gruesome, though.
Yeah, because
Straight in the eye.
he does shoot his dad square in the face.
It was like
he shoots him once in the chest and he falls on the ground, and then the other time he's like, "See you later," right in the face. Like, whoa,
right in the eyeball. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's pretty graphic.
The pearls scatter everywhere. Oh my gosh, I hate that. That's the dumbest Batman trope ever. Like, I was so mad when I saw that in Batman versus Superman. Oh, the pearls, they fall on the ground.
This time it was movie tickets, though.
Well, somebody also pointed out to me that if you buy a really nice set of pearls, they're individually like knotted in between each pearl. So if you were to cut them, they would just hang. They wouldn't fall off at all.
So are you saying that Mrs. Wayne is cheap?
Thomas Wayne is cheap. His wife Martha deserves better.
Yeah. Logan will buy her real pearls.
I'll take him to her gravesite at least. Yeah, I haven't been playing too much else besides that. Trying to jump into BioShock 2. There's a weird glitch with that, so I've kind of stayed away.
There's a glitch?
There's something weird with it where it like won't let you create save files. It's like hard to explain. It says you don't have enough hard drive space to create save files. It says there's no save data application data left. And I was like, okay, that's weird. So I went and deleted some like games I don't have anymore. And I came back and it was like, no, you still don't have enough. And I Googled it and there's something like it's allotted like a certain amount of like save data between BioShock 1 and BioShock 2. And I was like, well, I don't really want to delete my saves for BioShock 1 yet, even though I could and I would be fine. I've got the platinum. I guess I really don't need it necessarily.
Couldn't you just upload your BioShock 1 save to the cloud?
Yeah, I could, they are on the cloud too is the thing right now. So maybe I'll delete them locally and then try it again. I don't know. It was just something I did yesterday. And I was like, this is really frustrating. I'm just going to play Battlefront now. So I played Battlefront and that was really fun. I've been enjoying diving back into that lately and blowing up the Death Star multiple times. I'm really good at the trench run. I'm like the only person who knows what they're doing when it comes
You
to
just close your
trench run
eyes?
time.
You
Yeah,
use the force?
I just close my eyes, use the force. I turn off my targeting computer.
Luke.
They're like, Logan, you've turned off your targeting computer. Is something wrong?
Is that an option? Can you do that? Can you turn off your
No,
targeting
I
computer?
wish.
That would
Basically,
be-
you just have to fly through like a bunch of checkpoints. It's like a big old maze, and then you get to the end, and there's a final trench run straight ahead, and it's like lock on, shoot your proton torpedoes, and pew, pew, and then
Can you
it
miss?
blows up. No, or maybe I haven't before.
Because you use the force.
Yeah, I've used the force.
Exactly.
Besides that, I've been playing that this week, and I think that's about it. Lots of fantasy baseball. I think I won my league. Yes, thank you, God. So I'm really happy about that.
That's good.
I just spent like 5 hours watching the afternoon's games, making sure that none of my opponent's players did well, and it was really stressful. So it's like a weekly league, and your stats accrue across like the week, and I like benched a bunch of my players because I had good stats, and I was like, I don't want to screw this up. So I just benched a bunch of players and hoped that his wouldn't outdo mine, and some of his caught up with mine, and I started freaking out, and that wasn't good. But yeah, as long as one of my relievers here doesn't give up like 5 or 6 runs, I think I win, which is
It's good.
Cool.
That's VR money.
VR money. So I got a paycheck this week. I got a $80 winnings check coming my way, and then I think I got a refund coming from the BMV because those meanies overcharged me like $45 the last time I went there. So rolling in the dough this week for
Good.
VR, which is out in like less than 20 days now.
When this episode goes live audio, it'll be 2 weeks away.
Yep, 2 weeks out. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Thursdays are my long day at school. Dang, that sucks. Why is it coming out on a Thursday? That's so stupid.
I will be working Thursdays from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. So
I
I'll
have
have
class
all
from
evening to play.
10:30 to 5.
I'll have all evening to play it.
Yeah, I'll come home and play.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's one of those things I'm like excited to get my hands on, but I'm not gonna like skip school or anything. I don't think they do it or anything like that. Mainly
school.
Mainly because I need to go to classes right now. So
I need to go to work bad.
well, maybe I'll just get my work done early that week so I can skip my afternoon classes. That'll be fun. Anyway, notable news. I know we've been talking about what we're going to play for a while here. We've got a couple random news stories this week. Nothing big, of course, like usual. Nothing notable is happening. But we do have a couple stories. First off, Shovel Knights and Yooka-Laylee. That's really strange, but that they released a new trailer. Playtonic released a new trailer earlier today, just showing off some new gameplay footage of Yooka-Laylee, and then within the last 30 seconds, you find that Yooka and Laylee have met up with Shovel Knight, who is in their world for some odd reason. I guess those Kickstarter bros are sticking together and hanging out. So that was odd, but really cool to see.
Yooka-Laylee is game of the year.
It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to
Yooka-Laylee
it.
game of the year.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. I'm
so
wondering
excited.
what role Shovel Knight will have to play.
No idea.
I honestly bet he's just in it as like a what's up
NPC
type thing. Yeah, and that's about it.
But dude, doesn't matter. He's in it. There's a full 3D model of Shovel Knight out there.
Yeah, it's cool.
I would
that was the one cool thing was that there's now a full 3D model. So,
yeah, and like the way he sounds is pretty cool. They used
I didn't listen to it.
you gotta go watch it because Shovel Knight sounds hilarious. And then Yacht Club followed up with some tweets and said our Twitter bio is looking pretty boring, so we updated it, and it reflects what he says in the trailer. It is Yooka-Laylee just jumped up on my list of anticipated games like super high.
I always forget that it's coming out. It's supposed to be early next year, right?
Q1 2017 is
That'll be
what
really
it's
fun. Between that and Mass Effect that is supposedly coming.
So you've got it on PS4, Xbox One, Wii U.
Here come the yawns. 20 minutes.
It was actually I mean that was a yawn, yes, but I had that feeling you get right before you sneeze?
Yes.
I was taming that and then it turned into a yawn.
You used a yawn to keep it off.
Yep. So if I was gonna sneeze, I would have like hit my mute button.
Your mute mic.
And PC. So it's coming to all the platforms. We will see how well nostalgia holds up because nostalgia is kind of like the big factor in Yooka-Laylee. and we're going to see if nostalgia holds up as a gameplay design.
Nostalgia. I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's just that more of that old school platforming coming back, and I don't know if that's hinging on nostalgia
3D,
as much as it is. Like,
are you kidding me? The text bubbles, the way characters talk, the worlds, the collectibles, the people making the game,
sort of.
the transformations.
I'd say that's more of like
it is Banjo-Kazooie 3.
I guess, yeah.
It is like pure. It is nostalgia based. That's how it got all its money. Reminiscent of the 3D character platformer. Now,
3D
they
character
do it right and use that as the basis, and then expand on it and use modern game design principles to really bring the 3D character platformer back.
What modern principles though? Because I still think that Banjo-Kazooie games hold up like pretty freaking well for the most part.
They do, but you can add. So here's like the do's and don'ts. Look at Mighty Number 9, banking on nostalgia of Mega Man. Big ol' you guys won't make this game, so we will. Failed because of poor splitting it across so many platforms. Online implementation that really wasn't necessary.
Poor design overall is what doomed that game.
Yeah, and it was trying to be too much at once. It's trying to be an anime. It's trying to be a brand.
It was trying to be a brand before it was a game.
And then you can look at a game. I know I bring it up a lot, but Shovel Knight, which took inspiration from a bunch of different old school games, DuckTales, Zelda 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, combined the elements and then used some modern things. Look at the checkpoint system, which is one way to increase the difficulty without it's not like artificial difficulty increase,
Yeah.
That's more modern, a type of design principle compared to what would have been on an NES. So it captured the spirit of the NES. Where a concern could come in for Yooka-Laylee is it seems to be clinging so closely to the design of one type of character platformer, the rare Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and Donkey Kong 64. Like those three, and Conker's Bad Fur Day. All of those is kind of what it's honing in on. And it makes perfect sense because those are the people that made those games are making this game. And they're trying to capture that nostalgia and spirit. And hopefully the game plays very well. They've reined in the collectathon.
Well, from what I've heard of the demos already, like they do play.
The demo's supposed
to like that. That is almost.
The demo's supposed to be very cool.
I mean, people who've played the demo and who've gone hands-on with like actual levels of the games at E3 or whatever it is have said the gameplay's great. Like that's fine. They nailed it. We're good here. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's good in the demo situation, but how big is this game? Those worlds look very big. I'm worried about them being empty. Well, just enemies here and there. I'm also worried about how long this game is, because how long is this gonna, how long can... I'm just worried that we have rose-tinted glasses for the 3D character platformer, the way that these guys are going for it. And I do hope this game pans out. I love the idea of it.
There's nothing negative. There's nothing I've seen so far that's negative to me about this game. And I would say I'm not even like... I know you're saying rose-tinted glasses. Like, obviously, the Banjo games are really close to me. They're some of my favorites ever. I don't think I'm like really excited to get my hands on this, but I'm not like stupid excited to where I know
I'm
not Max Roberts Uncharted 4 excited. We'll put it that way. I'm excited to play the game, but I'm not like letting it derail me from what I think it looks like and how I think it'll be. That's the way I've been with most of the Kickstarter games. That's
the way you need to be.
Yes, and that's why I usually don't back any of them.
Have you ever backed a Kickstarter game?
I don't think so. No,
I will not back a Kickstarter game. Actually, I take that back. If Yacht Club went back to Kickstarter, if they did a Pebble thing, you know how Pebble? Yeah, right. You know how Pebble, every time they make a new watch, they just go back to Kickstarter for it? It's actually super smart of them. If Yacht Club for some reason went back to Kickstarter and said, "Hey, we want to make our next Shovel Knight game or whatever, give us money," I would help them. And I think the reason I would do that is because Yacht Club has proven themselves as game designers, and they've clearly held their promises on their Kickstarter like stretch goals.
Well, that's my thing with Playtonic as well, is like, even though they're a new studio technically, like they're proven, like they have proven themselves in the past.
The crew has
a litany of games, and so I think we can trust these guys that it shouldn't be a shock that the gameplay is good. It shouldn't be a shock that the game
I'm just
overall
worried
is
that the
fun
game
and
might be
enjoyable.
stuck in the late 90s and not up to here. We'll see how it pans out. I'm
curious how
I
much
don't even wanna
Inafune was
say-
involved with like Mighty Number 9, because he seems like he splits his time amongst all kinds of projects. Like I feel like his name's been tied to so many different things over the past few years, and I'm wondering how much he was actually involved with Mighty Number 9. But
I would
that's
think
a
he was more
different
involved with Mighty
conversation.
Number 9 than Recore, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
So it's, Mighty Number 9
Recore.
is a Kickstarter tragedy. Hopefully, Shovel Knight's proven itself. Hopefully, Yooka-Laylee proves itself, and hopefully, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night proves itself. And we can see that these games do have some life left in them. This format, these genres. So we'll see. I really do hope Yooka-Laylee is good. I think it could really be special, but I don't even want to say cautiously optimistic. I don't know. It's like just
You're different though. I like these games, I think, a little bit more than you do. So you're I don't know.
I mean, I grew up with them.
Yeah, I know. But you've never even played Banjo-Kazooie 1. You've only played Banjo-Tooie. So
The better game.
even though you've never played the first one.
I've played a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie, and by a little bit I mean
It's
the
like if
first
I said,
world.
yeah, Uncharted 1's the best, dude. You're like, have you played the other three? No, but I know it's the best.
But see, if you started with Uncharted 4 and only played it, you could say it's the best and it'd be true. Just like playing only Banjo-Tooie, it's the best.
I won't bash Uncharted 4 this week. You've made me hate that game.
No. I
Yes.
should not make you hate it.
Yes, you've made me hate it. I don't hate it at all. I play it up is what I do
I
more
know
than
you do.
anything.
I'm close to platinuming it. I need
I'm
all 5
almost-
multiplayer trophies and one more hidden trophy, and then I'm set.
I'll get there one day. One day, maybe.
I'm so
next
excited to
year.
have all 4 platinums.
Let's keep looking at the news though. So Shovel Knights and Yooka-Laylee, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah! Paper Mario kind of leaked, sort of. People almost got their hands on it early.
Nintendo leaked Paper Mario Color Splash.
I can just keep it for all I care. I've actually heard some good things about it lately as far as previews, but I still have no interest.
I saw a commercial the other day
For it?
for that game. I think it was like a YouTube ad. Oh, you know what it was? Nintendo Europe tweeted out the new trailer for it, and I watched that. That's what it was. And I was watching this trailer for this new Paper Mario game, and I looked at it and said, if
It has
all
very
that
realistic looking lemons.
well, it does have. If you took out all that, the realistic looking lemons, the fans, the cat, all the stuff from Sticker Star, if you took out the Sticker Star looking items, that actually looks like a Paper Mario game, like a good one. So I will wait for reviews. I will hear what the people say. I will go to the people I know and trust that know Thousand Year Door is the best Paper Mario, and hear what they have to say about Color Splash. I've seen some like dialogue boxes that are pretty funny, which, I do love good humor. Maybe that's a game I throw on my Christmas list.
Here's me and Paper Mario, and this is all I've needed to know from day one. Is it an RPG? No. Okay, goodbye. Like it's as simple as that with me and Paper Mario. Like, even if the other ones are good, like I
thought this one had RPG mechanics.
It does?
Pretty sure it does.
Is it a flat out like RPG? Is it an RPG?
I don't think it's Thousand Year Door RPG.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Is it like a full on RPG, turn based combat, stuff like that, or is it just? Like,
it is turn based combat. It is turn based combat.
Well, then maybe
I know. Like I said, I'm
going
to go to the people I know that are going to play this game and see how it all pans out. But I watched that trailer and I was like, that's not as bad as when I originally saw it, and I had that knee jerk reaction of this is a crime against the franchise. It may not be as bad. I've heard some things that it might feature a world map instead of like franchise. Yeah, it's a crime against it. Instead of hub worlds, like worlds that you explore, it's going to be in a map, which sounds awful.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Anyway, back to the story though. If you pre-ordered it and you can pre-download games on the eShop, and about 2 weeks out before they're released, and it's about 2 weeks out before Paper Mario's released, and some people found early in the morning that if you pre-downloaded Paper Mario, it was unlocked and you could start playing it. And from about 5 in the morning till about 8 in the morning, and I'm sure before 5 in the morning, but people were downloading and playing Paper Mario Color Splash and still are. But Nintendo quickly shut that down. They actually removed the ability to purchase Paper Mario from the store until they figured it out. But to my knowledge, that's the first time Nintendo's pre-downloads have unlocked early. So it's an interesting little eShop glitch. Thought is something worth mentioning. It does come out in 2 weeks, and I'm sure reviews will come out, and it will be okay. It'll be fine. So we'll see.
Sure it'll be, yeah. I'm sure it won't be anything to write home about, but I doubt it's like awful. So yeah, that's a game that's releasing this year on the Wii U. So have fun with that.
That's the only game I'm releasing on the Wii U of consequence.
Yeah, yeah, that's about it. So if you want to feed your Wii U, then there you go.
I kind of do, like in my brain I do, but I do know I have Twilight Princess sitting there. So
yeah. Yep.
I think I just need to take a break from Zelda, and then
I need to get back to those as well at some point. Last story of the week: Forza Horizon, the original, is going away, at least on digital storefronts on the Microsoft Xbox storefront. So you won't be able to download it anymore. It's reached the end of its life cycle and it will be gone. So
forever.
That's interesting. You can still obviously get physical copies of it if you see it at your local GameStop
and it is
Target or Walmart.
It is back compat with Xbox One. Part of the reason I chose this story, so at least to me was so interesting, is it was a games with gold this month.
Yeah.
So it was a free game for all 360.
That's kind of cool though that they give it away, because obviously they knew this probably ahead of time before they
knew this was coming ahead of time. So after this though, you're not going to be able to buy it. It's no longer going to be supported. So I'm sure I tried it out when it first went live. And, so it has things like a photo mode, and the way photo mode worked back in those days was the photos uploaded to a website, like a Forza Horizon website, and you would go there and find your photos and download them. I'm sure that service is going away. Like any online support is going away. You won't be able to buy the DLC anymore. So like that game is just disappearing digitally, which is weird to me. I mean, we've talked about PT on this podcast before and how PT is just gone forever unless it's on your hard drive like Logan.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a little bit of a different scenario. Like I said, I know I kind of poo-pooed it when we brought the story up, but I think the fact that you can still find it physically is like, that's the big difference here.
Yeah, it's still available. It's just
it won't be available
widely
digitally.
Available.
I mean,
it won't be available
yes and
widely.
No. I mean, when you got to think, when Forza Horizon the original came out, like downloading digital games still really wasn't a big thing. Like it's still really not a big thing. Like it's gained some traction within recent years, but when it first came out, like it was, I mean, everybody bought it physically. So there's a good amount of copies out there, I'd say. Will their price go up? Yes, obviously. I don't know how much it'll be though. Like I think there's still a decent amount of them out there. And again, like, while it is weird, like I don't think it's the hugest deal, because like Forza Horizon 3's out now, and like if you're itching enough to be like, oh, I got to go back and play Forza Horizon 1, that's kind of strange, because like it's not a game like Assassin's Creed 1, you are Altair. Assassin's Creed 2, you're a different guy in a different location. It's like, while there are like specific maps and tracks and specific functions of each game, like in racing games and sports games, it's almost like they're built on top of each other. So like, for you to want to go back and play Forza Horizon 1 at this point is almost kind of strange, because they've created two different games that have improved upon what that original was.
Arguably drastically improved upon it. Yeah. I think it was really cool that they did put it out at the beginning of this month, before 3 comes out this Tuesday, or by the time you're listening to this, it's already out. So like I went in there and I looked at, I tried out Forza 1 just to kind of see what the franchise was about. And it was very cool. In the game, it looked good for a 360 game and stuff like that. And then the Forza 3 demo came out and I played that, and it was, leaps and bounds better technically, all that stuff. And it was cool to see in such a short period of time just how far that franchise has come in the past, 6 to 8 years. So
yeah,
it's cool. It's there. You have until, I believe, I'll double check the day. I believe it's October 20th. I think it's the day it dies. But the game is going away forever and
Just go to your
ever.
local eBay or Amazon storefront and buy
Yeah, I did.
You're really wanting an original copy after that point. But
This
and again, if you have gold, just download it now.
Well, actually, I think it's done with gold. I think it was the
Is it
first
done?
half of the month.
Okay.
I think it was. I'm just double checking the day.
The way Xbox does their games with
October
gold really
20th.
throws me off, and I don't
How
care
it's
for it.
like
How it's
there's
like
one
first
or-
through the 15th, and then it's like 15th through the 15th of the next month, and like they like stagger them out in a strange way. Like I don't like it. Like PlayStation's way better, where it's just like here's our game of the month, and they shoot them all out at once.
Yeah, it's weird. I did end up actually picking up Forza Horizon 3. GameStop this weekend had, as far as GameStop standards go, a ridiculous
60%.
trade-in deal, 60% bonus. So I was actually getting probably what these games are closer to worth as far as trade-in value is. So I traded in like a couple of games. I did Deus Ex because I really wasn't feeling that game, and with the 60%, it was what I paid for it.
Which was how much? 40 something?
$40, like around $40.
Wow.
So, and with Amazon, that's about how much I paid for it.
Yeah.
So I broke even on that. I did Rise of the Tomb Raider because I'm
hopefully gonna get it for PlayStation.
Hopefully getting it for PlayStation for VR and whatnot. So I was like, I'm not missing out on that game. And then I got rid of my second PS4 controller because the thumbsticks are like right on the verge.
I did
like
that.
They're
I did that.
They're
with my
still
old
quality
ones.
enough. I was like, I'm just gonna trade this in. I got $40 for that, which is what I paid for it. So I broke even on a lot of stuff. Got $100, bought Forza, and then I'll use the rest of the money for VR games that I don't get review codes for or guide codes for.
Good plan. Good plan. Gearing up for VR. Gearing up for
Yeah.
VR. I probably should have traded a few things in myself this weekend, but
You
looked
still
around.
technically no, actually
Nah,
can't. Now they're closed.
I looked
Sunday.
around. I didn't really see anything that I wanted to get rid of, so I just
Yeah, there wasn't very much, but I was like, I really do want this Forza game, and so we'll see how it all, panned out. And it worked out. It worked out good. Got like $100.
Yeah. So cool. That's our news for the week. Like I said, not many news stories, but we decided to add a couple this week because I know we didn't do any last week, so we figured we'd throw a few in there. When we come back in just a moment, we will have our two topics for the week. Max has a secret topic that I don't know about, and I'm going to talk about series that we haven't played, but maybe we want to. So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about that stuff. So come back and join us here in just a minute.
Whoa.
All right. You want to just go back in?
Yes.
Like to try to finish around 8, if not before 7:20.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because
Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead. So I got 2 weeks left or something. It's weird. They actually didn't line it up to end when Walking Dead begins. There's like a 2-week gap, which I think is weird of them to not stretch it out like AMC normally stretches things out. But we'll see.
None of them line up for me anymore. So.
What do you mean?
I don't watch them.
Oh, but yeah, because they're bad.
As soon as I found out they were creating the spinoff, and then when I found out that I did not like the direction the show was going, I was like, yeah, I'll just be done. I'm fine with that. So
yeah, it's so funny to see AMC have 2 different spinoffs, Better Call Saul and Fear the Walking Dead, and one of them be utterly fantastic and one of them be utter garbage. So,
yep.
Oh well. What you gonna?
Let me get back in.
Yeah, let me write this down. All right, I'm ready to go.
Cool. We'll jump back in here in 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Before we jump into our topics for the week, I just wanted to make a quick mention of something, well, not really personal. It's more of like a national news story. Not really a shout out, but just Jose Fernandez, pitcher for the Marlins, woke up this morning and found out he died in a boating accident, and that was really sad. I don't know why we're talking about this on a video game show, but yeah, I mean, that was really sad. I was kind of heartbroken about that as a baseball fan, so I figured I'd just mention it and say prayers are with his family and the Marlins and all that stuff because I'm a baseball fan and it sucks. I don't know if you heard about that, Max, but like, yeah.
I heard about it because of you.
Yeah, dude who pitches for the Marlins, 24 years old. He was already probably like a top 5 pitcher in all of baseball. Had his entire career, had been died last night. So it's really sad. It kind of tore me up this morning. Not like bawling my eyes out or anything, but just as a person who really enjoys watching baseball, like he was really fun to watch. He was really, really good. Like it's kind of incredible how good he was. So it's a real shame that he's gone. That sucks. Like that stuff. I feel like you see that stuff every now and then, but it's kind of rare. So it was weird. It's definitely a weird thing to wake up to this morning. But I just thought I'd make mention of that and say prayers with his family, even though I know they'll never listen to this show. But I figured I'd bring light to it. Let's get into our topics this week, though. Like I said, Max, you want to start with your secret one, or you want to start with mine?
Well, we will start with yours.
Okay. So like I said before the break, my topic this week is, Max, what are some video game series that you've never played, but you've always wanted to?
First one that comes to mind, Final Fantasy.
That was just my first. Okay, so I'm in the middle with Final Fantasy. There's certain ones I've wanted to play, but I don't know about like all of them, obviously.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. There are the notable Final Fantasy games, I should say. I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
Same here.
7 is getting remade here. That will be out in about 20 years.
Yeah.
So in about 20 years, I'll play Final Fantasy 7 for the first time in this reimagined form. Unless I get around to it before then. But so Final Fantasy 7 is one of note.
Yeah, that was the big one on my list as well. I would have liked to have gone back and played those and seen how they were. And
especially just interesting that I haven't played Final Fantasy because I love Kingdom Hearts so much. And half of those games is Final Fantasy characters and mechanics.
Yeah, you and I are in the same boat with that. So
yeah, so I mean, I know Final Fantasy characters because of Kingdom Hearts. I just don't know those games,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Final Fantasy is the big, kind of the big one. I'm trying to think. I came up with this topic, and I don't have like a list already premeditated upon that I've thought of. A lot of RPGs and JRPGs though from the 90s. I can't think of like specifics. Obviously,
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger is one that I've wanted to get to. I know that's more of a specific game than a series. What else? I know there's a few because there was a reason I thought of this, and I was like, I want to bring that up. There's just like a handful of older games that I know I've never gotten around to, and I've always wanted to. In some ways, some of the Mario games, like I've never really played through all of 64. I've never played through all of Super Mario World, even though I love it. Like when you're a kid, you just play like. You either start the game over and over again with certain games, or you just get to a certain point and you're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of old like N64, PS1 games that I really would like to go back and play, but they don't really age super well at this point. So I just kind of never have. But yeah. What else? What else do you?
I have one that doesn't necessarily apply to you, but I've never played a Resident Evil game.
That's a good one. See, yeah, Resident Evil was one that I had felt like that for a long time, and eventually just decided to dive right in. So yeah, Resident Evil. Resident Evil's cool.
And the first Resident Evil game I will play is Resident Evil 7.
Maybe a good starting point actually, because I have no idea how it's tied to the other ones.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a fresh coat of paint for the franchise, and so an experience in VR, I think, is going to be a truly spooky way to play it. So Resident Evil is a franchise I never played. I know a lot of people love 4. 4 apparently is a very important game in gaming history. I've never played more than 20 minutes. I had a friend sit me down and say, you have to play this. And I got into the town and the chainsaw guy and was like, oh...
It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff.
So I have not played those.
I remember one similar to Resident Evil in the same vein. Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Nope. Silent Hill.
I knew that's where you were going.
Silent Hill. Yeah. Always have really wanted to dive into those games. Never have.
He was gonna be.
That's what it was gonna be. I've never played any of the Silent Hill games. I've always wanted to, just never got around to it. And yeah, that was one of those things I kind of stayed away from when I was a kid. Never really played through any of those.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about like big notable franchises for each
I've never
of the
played
3
Gears of War.
first parties. Gears
Never
is
played
great.
Gears.
I like Gears a lot.
Apparently, I own them all.
I'm
because
I'm really
Sure.
excited for Gears 4. Like really excited for it.
guy at GameStop asked me if I wanted to
one,
pre-order it. I could have got more money and pre-ordered it, and then got more money off a game. And
I'm really excited for that one.
I own them all.
That's my dark horse of this fall season is Gears of War 4. And I guess it's really not like a dark horse because it's kind of like one of the bigger releases, especially first party wise. But for some reason, I don't think about it when I think of games that are coming out over the next month or so. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to play Horde mode. I think you'd like that game, Max. I really think you would like those games like a lot. And I think 4 may be a good point for you to jump in as well. If you are interested
own
all
4. I own the first 4.
You do. You could play. It's really different. It's going to be a lot different from the last ones. Obviously, you won't have any ties to Marcus, but I don't really have any ties to Marcus because he kind of sucks. He's an okay character, but he's kind of like Microsoft's Kratos to me in some ways, where he's just like, here, let's kill stuff. Yeah, he's got more heart than he's got heart in a lot of ways, but Gears is good. I'm looking forward to Gears 4. I'm trying to think what else like Nintendo wise I've never played before. Never really got into Kirby too much. I've played a handful of the games, but not like a lot. But I feel like if you've played one, you've kind of seen them all.
There are some Kirby games I genuinely do love. I think Kirby and the Amazing Mirror on the Game Boy Advance is really fun. I think Crystal Shards on 64 is really great. I also do like Epic Yarn quite a bit. Not because it's difficult or anything, just I think the art style and stuff is really cute and fun. I also do like Canvas Curse and Rainbow Curse. So there's some unique Kirby games, but kind of the same idea across the board. Like as far as like broad franchises in general,
yeah,
like that's kind of it for me. I mean, I've never played Infamous 1 and 2 if we want to get into kind of minutia
you need
things.
to play those. Those are great games. As far as like notable franchises I've never played, we'll just like switch it to that. But like ones I've never had any desire to play whatsoever. Everybody talks about Crash Bandicoot. I think what I've played of Crash Bandicoot, even when I was younger, was hot trash. Like I didn't like it really at all. I don't think those games, they definitely don't hold up today, and I didn't find them very enjoyable back then. So Crash Bandicoot is like one old school game, especially from like the era of when I was a kid, and like you would think that would be right up my alley. Of course, I didn't have a PS1, but a lot of people think that, like a lot of people my age especially talk about Crash Bandicoot and like
Spyro.
Like yeah, I played Spyro. I played one of them, but I never really got into Spyro either. Yeah, Crash and Spyro are the two big ones from like when we were kids. I know. Metal Gear Solid for a long time was the big one, but then obviously I got around to playing those. That. Yeah, so I'm trying to think what else there is.
I've never played the Dark Souls games.
Apparently those are good. I technically haven't either. Bloodborne.
I've never played a Souls game.
I played Demon Souls for a little bit, but
I've never played a Souls-like game. Like Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne's the only one I've done, and I've got Dark Souls 3, and I'm going to get around to it.
Played a From Software game. There you go.
So Dark Souls was a big one on my list that I had been wanting to check off for a while, and I feel like I did that a little bit, at least with Bloodborne. So that made me feel good, at least. Where are we at now? I'm trying to think with if there's any modern franchises I don't play that everybody.
I've never played Killzone.
I've
never really played Little Big Planet.
I've played 2 and 4 with Killzone. So I play the even numbered ones. I don't know. Let me look something up here real quick, and then we'll get moving on here if we don't.
He's looking the things up to do the stuff with it.
I know Max.
I mean, like if you get into if we get really deep into it, I've only played Mega Man 2 and 3.
Yeah, Mega
Really,
Man's a big one on my behalf as well.
Castlevania. You and I, at least on my
Castlevania.
behalf, I've only played the best one,
That was
Symphony of the
again
Night.
another, and that was another one that was hanging over my head. Same with Metroid in a lot of ways. I'd never really played a Metroid until Super Metroid, so I felt the need to play that.
You should play
Grand
Zero
Theft Auto,
Mission.
I've played Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, but I've never really played the old ones that I know everybody
You don't need to play 1 and
talks
2.
about. Well, yeah, obviously. I
You need
meant
to
more
play
like
the
Vice City and
Yeah, the PS2 trilogy, 3, Vice City, and oh, now what was the third one?
let me look through here. So most notable video
GTA
game
3,
franchises.
Vice City. What was the?
San Andreas?
Thank you. I was like,
I thought I'd said that a second ago. Maybe
I didn't hear it.
Let me see. Notable game franchises: Mario, Tetris, Pokemon, Call of Duty.
I have not played all the Pokemon games.
Yeah,
I've played 3 of them, like main series.
let me keep looking through here. Never really played.
I've never
all
bought a
of
Call
the
of Duty
I've
game.
never played all the Splinter Cell games. I've played 1 or 2. I've played 2 of them.
Oh my
Never
gosh!
played the old ones on
Splinter
the
Cell Combat Compat on Xbox, please. Please give me conviction. Please give me
Stuff like
Blacklist.
Rogue Squadron, like Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Never played that. Always kind of wanted to. I feel like I honestly, like, I came up with this scenario, and I feel like in the end I have played a lot of it. Mega Man's a big one that has hung over my head that I eventually got around to playing. I've thought of it. I eventually got around to playing at least Mega Man 2, so I've done that.
I thought we did 2 and 3.
We just did 2. We thought about doing 3, but we never did.
Okay.
I think we switched it up and maybe did Castlevania instead, actually. Those are the big ones I've seen as I'm scrolling through like this list of like highest selling video game franchises of
Persona.
Persona's a good one. That's a solid one. I'll give you that.
I'm stoked for 5.
I am too, man. I'm hearing it's looking really good.
Sold like hotcakes in Japan.
I know one for you, and you're gonna roll your eyes at this, but dude, like freaking Mass Effect, man, like it is so good. Like the story in that is so good, and I know you say, "Oh, the ending," like, dude, like
I don't care about the ending. I care about the gameplay, how trashy it is. But
says the person who hates Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, horrible Assassin's Creed game.
Let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, I think those are the big ones. I had never played a Doom. That's kind of a notable one for me. Never played Doom until the newest one, honestly.
Never played WoW.
I thought of that earlier. Never played Just Cause. I mean, now we're getting kind of into the weeds to some of like the older ones.
I played Just Cause 3.
Yeah, you did do that. I forgot about that. So we're getting into the weeds.
Someone had to do that story guide. God, that game that game was stupid fun, but it did not run the best.
Yeah.
But it felt so good. The flying in that game is so good. Like the gliding and grapple hook. I should download that game.
Never played any of the Mafia games, even though. Let me be honest here. I think Mafia 3 might be my most anticipated game this fall. Maybe.
You just said.
What
Gears 4.
I said that's my dark horse. That's the one I don't think of.
That Katy Perry song.
That's my dark horse. That's the one I don't think of, but I am very excited for. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting though. I don't know. I'm like, dude, I'm pumped for Mafia 3. I am very excited for that game. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I have not played 1 or 2. But I think Mafia 3 looks incredible. I'm really excited for it. I like the setting. I like the character. I like that you can go blow the KKK away because, they're a bunch of racist dudes and you just shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
So that looks really fun. I'm really thoroughly excited for Mafia 3. And I think I'm slated to review it for the website. And if I get that, and then I have a 6-day turnaround between that and PlayStation VR, that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
Is it coming out around VR?
Comes out the Friday before VR. It's a Friday release, Mafia 3 is. So I think it's the 7th, which means VR is the following Thursday.
Oh, wow, that's really soon.
So yeah, it's really soon. It's coming really soon. It's in 10 days maybe.
I thought that was at the end of the month.
Nope, we got that really soon. So I'm getting really excited for Mafia 3. Hopefully we get a code because that would be very much appreciated. But if not, that's a game I'm looking at that I may just go buy. That's how excited I am for it. So, Anywho, gotta play Mass Effect. Max, what's your topic?
My topic. I've been thinking about this for myself the past couple of weeks, and I thought it actually kind of ties in with some of the topics or some of the games we just talked about. But I've been thinking about games I want to sit down and play this Halloween, like this October. Some October games I want to play.
Timely. We're getting
sort of timely. Fall just started, so that's how it's sort of timely. But October is coming up here, and there are just some games that I've kind of had an itch to play, but they really would fit in with the October setting. And those games for myself are Dead Space, which was free with Games with Gold on
you never
Xbox.
beat Dead Space 2, you said, did you?
Nope.
See, that'd be a good one for you to go back to. I know you're very close with Dead Space 1, and that's like your favorite. But Dead Space 2 is really good.
I've heard that, but with my PS3 packed away and it not being back compat on Xbox,
yeah,
the only one I can play is Dead Space 1.
Yeah.
I've Alien Isolation is a game I bought, started, and never finished because it was too hard and like tense and scary.
Yeah, I never bothered to buy that one.
I want to go back and do that. I think that would be one. And then last for me is Until Dawn, which you would think I'd be sick of because I've technically played that game a million times. I just the one thing that I'm missing, one trophy from the platinum, which is kill everyone, which I know how to do. I just never did the run. I just pieced it all, like how to kill everyone separate. Anyway, but the reason I want to do Until Dawn is we have a group of friends that tries to get together like every couple of weeks for a game night, and we typically play board games and stuff. But I would like a night where, like a Friday night where we get there we get to where we want to play a little early, the PlayStation's set up, and I have everyone else, there's about 8 of us, have everyone else make the decisions, and I just navigate the game. I'm just their guide, because I think Until Dawn really captures the spirit of like a slasher horror, kind of campy horror game movie, and I think it's really fun. I think the story it has enough spooks in it, but I think it mixes very well, and I think it would be fun to see other people's reactions to this game that I've certainly played quite enough. But I think that would be fun. So I've kind of had those 3 games on my mind lately as far as like seasonal fall spooky games to play.
I like getting Halloween has always been a holiday I really enjoy, and I like that the thing I like about Halloween is it seems like it does last the entire month if you really do get into it. Like you can make a big deal out of Halloween and be like, I'm gonna watch like 2 scary movies a week, I want to play a scary game, like I want to get like ingrained into this month and kind of run away with it. Some people do that, like some people treat it almost like Christmas, not obviously like on the grand scale, but like let's get into like the festivities of this holiday and have it like encompass like this month that I'm in. So I've always thought that was cool with Halloween, and I like doing that myself, even though I really don't. The one series that I think of that I do like to play around Halloween, and sometimes Can I guess? Go ahead.
Costume Quest.
Yes, Costume Quest is fantastic. I think I played Costume Quest 2 right around Halloween last year, and
I really enjoyed that game. Was free with Games with Gold as well. I have not played either Costume Quest, but I do have 2.
I may have actually bought it beforehand. Like that's how I played Costume Quest.
I think you would have bought it.
I really did like it. I think I bought it like when it went on sale at one point, and then I purposefully waited until it was October, Halloween. And I was like, I'm just gonna save this because I have no urgent desire to play it right now, so I'll just save it for when I do want to play it, which is a couple months from now. So yeah, Costume Quest is the one that I think of as far as scary games go. This holiday season specifically, it's not really scary because it's more of an action game, but it might be fun to jump into Resident Evil 6 for me finally, because I've put this off. I want to play it before 7.
I mean, I've never played a Resident Evil game, but please don't play 6.
Max, you should go buy 6, the HD version of it on PS or remastered version of it on PS4 with me. It's like $12. We'll play through it together and we can laugh and make fun of it. And at least you'll have some entry into the series, and it'll just be shooty bang bang to you.
I want my Resident Evil experience to be the beginning hour demo I played, the VR demo I'm gonna play here in 2 weeks, and then the game in 3 months. I want to start with 7.
That's probably a good idea for you. But
I'm
as a person who has played
all of them.
5, 6, 7. I've either played 7 or 8 Resident Evil games. 6 is the notable absence on the list.
Yeah.
And even though I know it's not going to be good, like I need to, and honestly, I bet it won't be, I don't think it'll be bad because I think the mechanics will probably be solid and I'm sure it'll be fun to just bang, 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 shoot everything up. But that's not Resident Evil. And
that's not a Resident Evil game.
That's the issue people have with it. Is I'm sure the mechanics are fine and I'm sure the gameplay is pretty enjoyable.
What if
but that shouldn't be Resident that shouldn't be Resident Evil. That should be other games.
What if it's all bad? It's just it's bad cookie, bad egg.
Interesting.
Something just popped in my head. It's kind of semi-related. Not really.
Semi-related. I'm gonna talk about trucks.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
When you do get your PSVR, how like when I get mine, there are people I want to show.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna put this on your head. You've got to try this out.
Put this on your head. What is it? Shut up and put it on your head.
Put it on your head.
Was it a head crab? Is this Half-Life 3 demo?
But how?
You've never played Half-Life. There's a good one for you.
That's one. I've never played Half-Life.
Topic.
Or Left 4 Dead, or really any Valve games except Portal.
That's a good one. All right, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
I was just curious, how are there a lot of people you want to show this to? Like, I'm going to be showing Abby, and when my parents are in town, I want to show them, and there are friends I want to show. And I was curious if you had a lot of people, or you're like, I'm just going to keep this headset and for myself.
Family for sure. Don't know if I'll be able to get my mom to do it. Probably
you could do the underwater demo.
My dad for sure. Yeah,
you could probably get your mom to do the underwater
I may put my mom in one of those experiences, and I'll tell you right now, this is what'll happen. I'll make my dad do it the first weekend I get it, and my brother will do it too out of curiosity. He plays games now too. He's been playing Dark Souls 3 for weeks. He's about to beat it, I think. But my dad's played games for a while. My dad used to play games as much as I did. He just, I think, kind of got burnt out with them, and he got too busy with other things in life to play games consistently anymore. But he's the main reason I play games as much as I do. So I'll definitely show him the first weekend I get it. And then as soon as I show him, he'll be like, man, your mom's got to see this. So my mom will end up probably experiencing it. One, because I want her to, and I want to show her it, and I want to be like, this is the new thing. This is like the future. Hopefully, I don't see why it wouldn't be, but I would like to show her that, and then my dad and my brother as well, and then just various friends. I won't. Yeah. I don't think I'll be urgent and you gotta come over right now. But over time, hey, you're over at my house. Try this out because I had this
right now.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to buy those I don't know what the term for it would be, but those wipes that they'd have at the demo station that clean them up so you don't get pink eye?
No. Well,
you're putting it in everyone else's face.
I'll just use my shirt or something.
That's kind of gross.
I don't know. Maybe.
One more VR question that's kind of been on my. I know the answer to mine, but cinematic mode, not something they've been advertising a lot. I don't think they really need to. It's not the selling point in the system. But the ability to play your games on 3 different size screens virtually.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first game you want to try out in cinematic mode?
Mass Effect Andromeda.
You're gonna wait that long?
No. I don't know. It may just be something as simple as a game I go back to, something like Uncharted 4, where it's I've played this on TV. Let's just play this.
Uncharted 4 is going to be the first game I do.
Because why not?
Uncharted 4 is the first one because I want to see how. I want to compare the quality of seeing it on a TV.
Honestly, I don't think it's going to be good. The more I think about the cinematic mode, the more I'm I don't know how excited I am for this.
I'm super curious about what that'll be like.
I'm not a graphics snob by any means, but I know it'll look a lot poorer than it does on my TV. And if that's the case, then I may just be I just prefer to do this on my TV. So I honestly don't see myself using it a ton.
I want to do Uncharted 4 first. I want to try Hotline Miami.
That would actually maybe be a good one. Now, if it's a game like that where graphics and you don't Like something like Uncharted 4, like
Just
it
that music
almost,
pumping in my head.
you
is
almost
all I-
need that extra visual for it to be good. Something indie may actually be good in it. I'm curious to see if it'll make me like sick at all to the point where I'm like, I don't want this on my head. Like when I'm not playing games that are specifically tailored to VR, like I don't want this on my head. So
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna be playing all my games on VR, but I do know Uncharted is going to be the first thing I try out in that cinematic mode. I remember watching a picture of Shuei Yoshida playing. It was either Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne in cinematic mode.
I can officially say I won my fantasy league.
There you go. How much you win?
$80.
$80. There you go. VR.
Shoo!
You're done.
All the
You're
games
close. I
are
don't know.
over. I'm very, very proud of myself for doing that.
Good
Sorry
job.
to interrupt. I had a game on TV on my phone off to the side this whole episode.
Oh my gosh.
It hasn't been distracting me, obviously. You didn't even know. But I would glance at well,
yeah.
the problem is there's more games that start in 13 minutes. And if something went wrong, then I have players who are scheduled to play in those games, and the guy I'm facing doesn't. So if anything went wrong at the last second, I would be able to plug those guys in and play them tonight. But as it stands, I don't need to. It's over. I just won. I can bench them, and I don't have to worry about it. Game over. I win.
Congratulations. Rub it in their faces.
Now I will buy some move wands.
Oh yeah, you should go buy your move ones.
I do need to buy those really soon, actually.
You do, because interesting thing, they charge with the PS3 charging cable. So
That's interesting. As long as it plugs into my PS4, which
it does plug in there. I think I don't have two of those cables for some reason, so I do think down the line I'm going to buy one of those charging docks that holds two move-ons at once and charges them. Idea. But I don't need that right away. I don't know if you need that right away, but that's something I got to figure out where I'm going to put this darn headset, man. I want to build. I would love to build.
I like how they started.
I would love to build.
You're gonna play for Halloween, and now it's where are you gonna put your headset in 2 weeks?
I would like to build a little shelf that has like little pegs that you can hang the move controllers off of, and something that you can rest the headset onto, and maybe hang your headphones on. Like I'd like to build a nice little shelf for it, but
just next time you go to the store, just saw off a mannequin head and bring that home.
Seriously, I've been thinking about ordering a mannequin head.
That's not a bad idea. I've got a table next to me that I'll probably just throw it on. Currently, it just has.
That's probably what I'll do. I have a little dresser nightstand thing that's really long.
Currently, it is housing all of my Disney Infinity characters, so I will need to find something to do with those.
Let me also say, in a box.
If you're a Disney Infinity fan and you've like put off buying some of the characters, go look at Walmart and Target, because they are seriously like $4 to $5 per character, which is awesome. And I've been tempted to get a few more, but I know I'll never go back and play it. Like at this point, it's just shelf decorations. So, but yeah. Anyway, do you want to get back to our Halloween topic here for the last few moments of the show? Was there anything else? I don't know.
Those were the games I wanted. Did you?
Resident Evil, Silent Hill. Maybe I'll play PT again, because there's a reason I have that still saved on my PlayStation 4. There's a reason I never want to get rid of my PS4, so I can always have that. Maybe I'll play through PT again. Maybe I'll clear my data on that and go back to it. Because that is a really, really creepy game.
Be careful when you're clearing that data, bro.
Oh shoot, yeah, you're right. I'll clear my save data application. I won't.
Yeah,
don't itself.
The wrong part.
I'll cry myself to sleep that night. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. I wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah, no, it'd be a rough night.
So yeah, maybe I'll go back to PT. The big one this holiday season though, Resident Evil 4. I think I would like or 6. I mean, actually 4 as well. I would like to play through 4 again. And then besides that, BioShock 2, I guess, if you want to consider that somewhat horror, even though it's more action, I guess. But
not a horror game. It's a
atmospheric game. Horror elements. We'll say that, but it's not a horror game by any means. The first one's a lot scarier. I forgot. I turned on.
I kind of wish Outlast 2 was still coming out this Halloween, but it's not anymore.
Been good. That would have been good. I deleted that game. That game freaked me out too much.
I beat it. Horrible ending.
I've heard it's a bad ending.
Like trash ending.
I booted up BioShock 2 yesterday, and I forgot at the beginning of that game where Sophia Lamb comes out and she's like, and I was like, oh, I remember why I don't like this game. Sophia Lamb sucks. I think she's a lame character.
But Minerva's Den. You gotta beat it to play Minerva's Den.
You can play Minerva's Den right off the bat. I would
think at least you'd want a refresher, right?
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Minerva's Den doesn't involve Bioshock 2 storyline at all. It's completely separate. It follows a different Big Daddy. I think it's like names like Alpha or something like that, or maybe Sigma, something like that. It's completely different. But anyway, yeah, there's some good games to play this holiday season.
Standalone. You don't have to play Bioshock 2 at all.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I just wanted to. I'm kind of doing them all as like play through the game, then play through the DLC.
Maybe I just won't play 2. Maybe I'll just play Minerva's Den.
Yeah,
I hear Minerva's Den is very well done.
That's what I've heard as well.
But whatever.
Anyway, so play some games this Halloween. Support your local Halloween stores and give back to the zombies and the ghouls who haunt the night. Anyway,
I know it will come out after that, but you have your Dead Rising 4 in December.
Dead Rising 4, even though I think that's a Christmas game, Max. I think they specifically.
That's why I said it was coming out later.
I think they've specifically made that a Christmas game, and I don't mean like it comes out near Christmas. I mean like I think it's set during Christmas.
Like Christmas.
I think it's a Christmas
with the candy cane
game.
gun.
Yes, the candy cane gun. I think I saw him attacking somebody with a Christmas tree. So it looks Christmas themed, I'm pretty sure, which should actually be really funny. But
it will be goofy.
I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. That's it for episode numero 60 of Millennial Gaming Speak. Thank you so much for listening and watching, or however you consume the show. We appreciate it if you're putting your eyes or your ears on us in any way, shape, or form. If you want to find the show, there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can find the show on Twitter. We're at MGS Podcast. If you want to find the show's hosts, that would be myself and Max. We're on Twitter as well. You can find myself, Logan. I am at Moreman12 on the Twitters. You can find Max over at Max the White. If you want to email us with any questions, comments, or concerns you may have, you can do so at Podcast. No. What is it? mgspodcast@gmail.com. Is that it?
Yes, Logan. For the first time in 60 episodes, you didn't remember the email address.
I goofed. It's mgspodcast@gmail.com. You can email us any questions, comments, or concerns you have to that email. I've got
or topics.
Or topics. We're always looking for new topics because Lord knows we have to think some up.
Logan can't come up with any.
Well, I've got a good list now. I've kept it here next to my computer for when we record. Yeah, I do have another good one actually for next week.
All right, you have a list now.
I've got a list for me. But yeah, so you can email us there. mgspodcast@gmail.com. You can also find the show on YouTube if you're watching right now. Hello, we're on YouTube. So you're looking at my face as I talk to you, and that's a lot of fun that we're doing right now. We are at Millennial Gaming Speak. If you do want to go watch the show for some reason, it's just me and Max talking back and forth, and it cuts, and then it cuts, and then it cuts, and then it cuts. So it's pretty boring, but if you want to watch it that way, we're definitely on there. You can watch it. Also, you can find the show on iTunes. I think that's how some of you may consume the show. And if you do, hey, what's up? We're on iTunes. And now we're in your ears because of the power of iTunes. And I just said that to you through iTunes. If you're on iTunes and you're listening to the show, if you could leave us a 5-star review, that would be fantastic. It helps us get more listeners and it helps us reach a larger audience. And we're trying to do better and we're trying to reach more people. I think this is a good show at this point, and I can rant and rave at this point in the show because I know what I'm talking about. And this is the only part of the show where I really don't have to say,
says the guy that couldn't remember our email address.
Remember our email. I got to be honest. I log into that email like once or twice a week though. So I'm not on there all the time, but that's where we are with all that stuff. I think iTunes, leave a review. Like I said, that would help us phenomenally so much. We would love it. We would love you. We would kiss you on the mouth if we knew who you were and you left that review. At least I would. I don't know about Max. He's in a stable relationship. I'm kind of willing to kiss anybody or anything at this point. But I think that's it. I think that's it for our show this week. That's it for episode 60. Thank you so much for listening. Max is going to say something.
I remembered 2 franchises that at least I haven't played. Crimes. Just super quick. I'm going to name them. That's it.
Go ahead.
F-Zero.
Act Zero?
F-Zero.
Captain Falcon. I thought you said Act Zero. I was like, that sounds familiar. Don't know what that is.
ActRaiser is what you're thinking.
ActRaiser.
And then the second one is Earthbound. The Mother franchise.
Earthbound. That's kind of a series. We've only got one of them. It's a series for sure.
3. Yeah. No, we have 2 of them now. They did Earthbound Beginnings.
Earthbound Beginnings.
Earthbound Beginnings on Wii U.
Which I don't even think like massive Earthbound fans were fans of. Like even Andrew over at IGN, who's like a Earthbound.
I know, but it's
super fan.
It's still a game.
Like, So
it's still a game.
Earthbound was one I thought of, but I just kind of logged it as the one game. I was like, it's not a series. So
there's 3
anyway,
games.
thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope you have a good Halloween, and I'll wish you another good Halloween when we get closer to Halloween. But have a good night. Help your mom tucks you in. Drink some more milk before bed. It helps you go to sleep faster. And, kiss somebody and tell them you love them because we love you, and put some love out into the world and all that other good stuff. So have a good week. We love you. Bye-bye.
Adios.